country that would be here if they could, but you know, we only have so much room, and we only have so much time to warn everybody. So what I want to see happen here as I'm talking is I want to see my wife Liz, Corinne, Candace, Willow, Yanni, Dana, and Lisa all stand up over here after you guys get your plates and everything. Just want you guys all to get over here for a second. So we got a lot of new folks here, and some of you folks have been around for a while. My name's Joe Grumbine, and this is my wife Liz. And together we're the owners and operators of Willow Creek Springs.
And again, I want to thank you all for coming to our first annual Willow Creek Springs Christmas party. One of many. We're growing, yes.
So for most of you, this has all been happening this year.
And Champ, you forgot about Champ.
Yeah, well, Champ's a good boy. Just
okay.
He does whatever he wants.
Okay, go out, Champ, for today.
Anyways,
go shoot.
A year ago today, we had a couple of people working, and I think we had, I don't know, 8 or 10 reps, and we were doing maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 orders a day. That was a pretty good clip when we were going on. We did a lot of other stuff at that time too, that we're doing more THC work than CBD stuff. And that's its own thing. So I'll sort of make mention to some things that are part of us, but Willow Creek Springs is a hemp and CBD company. So just be mindful of that. We have 2 companies, Willow Creek Springs and Critical Pain Relief, and they're separate. And one is still figuring itself out because of the ridiculous laws that we have here in California and in the United States. So that being said, I'm still have a nonprofit, the Human Solution International, and we're still fighting to end prohibition so that we could have 1 company instead of 2, because that's how it should be. And until we're done, we're going to keep fighting on all fronts. So there's 3 companies actually represented here. In this last year, our growth has been doubled. I think we may have hit our 3rd doubling this year. So from where we were last year, we doubled again, and doubled yet again. And we're on track to do it again probably before the 1st quarter of next year. That's not without growing pains, as you all know. We've gone from 2 people working here to sometimes 8 or 9. Everything is still manufactured, packaged, labeled, printed here. So we're getting close. We're in talks right now of a production factory. We have a guy who is quickly become one of our biggest customers, and he wants to invest in a production facility. And that's going to involve the manufacturing of the products. And so right now we make between a ½ gallon and 5 gallon batches of everything that we make with the equipment that we have. We'll be making 40 to 100 gallon batches of the same products in the same way, using the same ingredients, with the same standard of quality. So the biggest thing that happens in always one of our strongest suits was that we're a small family-owned company. And people put credence to that because of the integrity involved. And I thought, and I looked, and I researched, and I could not find a reason why we can't be a great bigger company. There just isn't a reason. The difference was people equate when you touch it with your hands that it's better. But the reality is, what makes it better is the choice of ingredients, the formulation, the way it's done, and the standard of excellence. That's what makes it better. And that's what we're committed to. So the fact that whether we touch these products all with our hands or whether we formulate it with the same care and consistency that we always did, that's what's going to stay here. So as you guys get bigger and better, and as we get into more stores and you as reps take on bigger clients and you come to me with, instead of 25, 250, and instead of 250, 2,500, and instead of 2,500, 25,000, when that starts happening, you don't want me to say, oh, I'm sorry, I have to hand make each one of these products with my fingers and it'll take you 6 months. You don't want me to say that. You want me to say, sure, like I always do. That's where we're headed. This year, probably within the first quarter of this year being out, we'll at least have broken ground on this new factory. So that's one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is the fulfillment side. So when it comes to creating products, that's the most important part. The second part is you got to put it in a bottle, you got to seal it, you got to cap it, you got to label it. That can be done by hand or it can be done by machine. So I'm right now working on a couple of different possibilities. One is I've got 2 different potential partners that are interested in creating a fulfillment center, and third is I'll just do it on my own. So we'll be getting the first, we're getting our first capper. It's on its way here. It's kind of a small tool, but it's a tool that will save our workers' hands, because literally every bottle is hand tightened, and I can assure you that there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that goes into that. So we have a first new tool on its way that's going to be bottling, zipping the tops on with the right torque and everything. So anyways, that's what's in front of us right now. We have a lot of progress that we're making, and I'm going to explain a bunch of things. I promise I'm not going to take up too much time, but I got a lot of things to say. After I'm done with this little presentation, I'll be available to talk, and we got the rest of the afternoon to enjoy ourselves.
We got a couple people just wanted to share how one of the Yanni, how she just
Yeah. Yanni's got a couple of things she's going to be sharing. So, all right, I think I've got everybody here now. So, Lisa, Liz, Dana, Candace, Willow, Corinne, and Yanni, please stand up.
And Andrew was here.
Oh yeah, where did Andrew go? All right, well, Andrew, why don't you come on out here for a sec? So, for everybody, that has been working with us and using these products and asking questions, wondering where their package is, all the things that you guys have been doing, this is the team that makes it happen. All right, so just give us a big hand. They're doing an amazing job, and no, you can't have them. All right. So I've been talking about this for a while. The last time we did this, I talked about we're going to be closing out some products. What's happened is we started making these products 20 years ago. And some of the products that we made, they were all hemp products before anybody knew what hemp was. And but once CBD came into the realm and people began to understand CBD, the hemp products stopped selling for the most part. And we're going to hang on to a couple of them. The original hemp healing salve, it's the one that started it all. Every single product that we have in some way was born from the hemp healing salve. We're going to keep that. We're going to keep the original lotion and cream for now, but those are going to probably get phased out into special order. We're going to keep the sun salve. That's one that everybody has always liked. It doesn't have CBD in it, but it doesn't need it. It works great on its own. And what's the other? Do you have any other original hemp products that we're keeping? Oh, the sugar scrubs are staying. No, the lip quenches are gone.
Oh man.
Wait. Anything that's gone isn't gone. I'm just going to explain what this all means. All right. So anyways, what you're going to find is when you go to the wholesale website, which I know all of you are very familiar with and you're all using and ordering with, because that's the only way we can manage all these orders, there's 2 different order forms. One's the special order form, and one's the regular order form. The regular order form are items that we keep in stock that we can pick off the shelf and fulfill your order. You can buy one of, 2 of, 3 of, 5 of, 10 of, 1,000 of. We don't care. We produce them. They're in stock. What it means when it goes to special order is that somebody's got to order a batch because we're not keeping them in stock anymore. But a batch is not a huge amount. I think it's 50 lip quenches or it's 30 bottles of lotion. I mean, it's generally no more than 50 items to a batch. If you want this and you don't need a whole batch, get it together with another rep and combine an order and we'll make a batch. But the point is I don't want to keep it on the shelf if it's not moving. One of the things that's really important with these products is that we maintain freshness. I could make 10,000 of everything and have them sit in the warehouse, but then we start to have to rotate. I'd rather make it as needed, and that way everybody gets them hot off the press, and that lifespan is at its longest point always. So that's what's going on with that. The lip quenches are no longer going to be available except for by special order.
No, there's only going to be 2, which now are nano, which we are like the first ones that brought up nano lip quench. So
That's
we're gonna
perfect.
do nano.
Yeah. So we're replacing the old with the new. Corinne, can you give me an example of all of our new products so that I can show them out? What I have is the salve tubes, the nano roll-ons, the elixirs, the suppositories, and the blood pressure pills. All right. So I'm gonna demonstrate some of the new products. So what's happening is the old products that are not moving are making way for the ones that we're bringing out. What my plan is to run a new product for a full quarter, maybe even a half a year, and see how they do. If they don't move, we move them to special order. They all work. There isn't any one of our products that I can say, that was a dud. But I'm not marketing them. I don't even do retail sales anymore. So I don't. You guys have all the freedom, all the latitude, all the ambition, and you'll move what you want to, and I'll react accordingly. So that's how this works now. Before we were selling retail and we were out there, pushing this stuff and we were selling it. But since we stopped doing that, some things move, some things don't. Okay, next, I do white label business, and many of you sitting here, I make white label products. But what that means is that you can create your own brand using my products. And it's got its strengths and its weaknesses to it. If you use my brand, I've got all the literature that we make for it, and I've got all the things that we support it, and it's featured on my website, and you can be featured as a rep on my website. If you do your own, you get your own company, and you don't have to do anything but create your label and market it. So it has a great value to different people for different reasons. I'm getting very close to having, many of you that are here that are doing white labels have had the benefit of working with us when we were just getting started to do that. So I was able to spend a lot of time doing custom work with you, doing consultations and all that. I don't have the ability to do that as a rule now, but we have the team now instead of just me. And I'm still here to advise everything, but the ability to just sit down and let's have a nice long chat, it's not so much like anymore. But what we are working on, and we'll have down probably within the next month or so, are some standards and some ways that white label happens very, very specifically. But the good thing that happens for white label people, if you've ever worked with any other white label companies, number one, you get about 4 choices of products. Number 2, you have to order a minimum of 10,000. Number 3, you have huge consultation fees, and you're not going to get into any white label product for under $50,000 at all, anywhere. So anybody who's worked with me knows that you can jump right in. If you do have to work yourself and you pick products I have, you have all these products to choose from, and you can buy 10 of them. I don't care. So that's what sets us apart. That's the void in the market that we're fulfilling. And so please understand, accept, and appreciate that. and don't push it, because I understand where I'm at and I understand what I bring to the table. And I also know that if you give people an inch, a lot of times they'll just keep going until you say stop. So I'm saying be reasonable with me when we do these things, and I'm more than reasonable with everybody. All right, so the next thing is we're a manufacturer and a wholesaler. What that means is we do not collect sales tax. So as of January, I'm going to require anybody who does business with me to have a seller's permit. If you don't have one and you don't want to get one, then you got to go buy from a rep who does. I have to require that because as I'm getting bigger, one point the state board's going to come and audit me, and they're going to say, all right, well, you made all this stuff. Who collected the sales tax? Okay, so in the beginning, we were doing a lot of retail sales as well as wholesale, and I was sort of picking up the slack for everybody. But we've just come to a place where now I really don't do any retail sales, and I really don't need to pay sales tax. So you guys do. You know, we may do a grace period till maybe the 15th of January, something like that. But after that, it's going to be required. And we'll have on the website, there will be a thing that you'll have to fill out with your seller's permit and all that. And if you don't know how to do it, it's really easy. Go to the State Board of Equalization. I think everybody here is in California. You know, you may be liable for a county tax or a city tax, depending on where you're at. But that's all your responsibility. You guys are all independent contractors. You all have your own businesses, and thus you have all the benefits that come with that. All right, so that's an important thing. The next thing is I get a lot of questions about tiers. We have 3 tiers of pricing. Okay, we don't do retail anymore, so we don't have that 4th tier. So because we don't have retail, we have a suggested retail price, which is more or less the price we used to sell it for, but we're not competing with you guys anymore. So you can sell it as much or as little as you want. It doesn't matter to me. But that being said, is we've established our wholesale price based on our suggested retail price. So for example, most of our CBD products retail for about $30. We wholesale them for $15. That's tier 1. Anybody who comes into this business new and is ordering less than 100 units will be automatically put on tier 1, with few exceptions. Every once in a while, somebody will, have a special circumstance or something like that. If you have a business plan and you have, a short-term way to get to a higher tier, and you want to come to me and say, hey, here's what I'm doing. If you can give me that leg up and this is how I'm going to do it, I'll give you a way to do that. It's not fair to the people that are buying 100 units to have the same price as the guy buying 5 units. So if you're buying 100 units to 500 units, you're on tier 2. And then if you're buying more than 500 units, you move up to tier 3. Okay, so everybody should have be on the right tier. The website has multiple tiers on it. There's every single person that's on the website. If you're not seeing the right pricing come up, reach out to us. We'll fix it. But generally speaking, yes.
Does that have to be 500 of the same product?
No.
Or could it be a combination?
No, it can be a combination of things, and it can be through a period of a month. So if you're buying 500 units within 30 days, you qualify for tier 3, and that's it. But if you buy tier 3 one time, and then I don't hear from you for 6 months, and then you come back and buy 20 items, you don't stay on tier 3. You stay on. This is a performance-based project, and it's the same with any company. This isn't an unusual thing, and it's fair. It's very fair. I've learned this, you guys, and anybody who's worked with me for a while will realize that I was very nice and very compassionate and kind and caring and giving and giving and giving. And you know what I got for that? I got stepped on the face. So one day I learned a lesson, said be fair. be fair and be consistent. And I decided to do that. And guess what? Everybody wins all the time. That's how we are today. We're fair and consistent. All right. So, seller's permit tiers. Okay, so the thing with the white label is that I will make a new product for you. Okay? I don't sell you my intellectual property. So if you come to me and say, hey, I got a great idea, can we do this? If you're just suggesting it, like, hey, can you do that? I'll say no. Or I'll say, yeah, put it on my list. But if you come to me and say, hey, I got a plan, I want to sell these things, and I'll buy 1,000 of them. If you make it, you bet I'll make it. And we'll figure it out. But what happens is we all benefit from the white label people that way, because I'll make it for you and I turn around and make it for me too if I like it. So a lot of our products have been born out of the impetus of people's requests and their willingness to buy them. So currently I've been putting, and the reason why is I've got 1,000 ideas and one day they'll all come true, but I've had a general formula for more than a year for a whole new family of lotions and creams, therapeutic and anti-aging lotions and creams. By that, I mean a product that has a water, an oil, and a fragrance phase, 3 phases to the product. It's an emulsion. So what that means, it's a more complex product than a buttercream or a salve. And it means that you can do different things with it. The lotions that we have are very simple and very delicate. And so we've kept those this way, but it's kept me from making a more therapeutic version of it. So now I got a client, a white label client, who's hiring me to make some therapeutic lotions. I'm like, cool. That unleashes a whole new family of products. And it could be 10 or 15 products that come out of this line. But meanwhile, we have here 2 prototypes of a new version of lotion. So you guys are welcome to take a squirt and try it out. That's what these are. This is Formula 1 and Formula 2. All right, so these are essentially a pain relieving therapeutic lotion with some CBD in it. That's the idea of this formula. There's 2 different versions of it, and try it on, tell me what you think. That's ultimately going to guide this. These are being sent to the client. They're going to decide which one they want, and we'll formulate for them. But meanwhile, for the product that's going to be available to everybody, I want everybody to have some input into what they like or not. And then there's also a new version of a salve that is, this is a salve that has magnesium in it, and magnesium is water-based. It's water-soluble, so I had to put a small amount of water in this. So I'm still calling it a salve because it's less than 1% water phase, but it actually does have a very small water phase to it. But it has magnesium as an ingredient, which is for some of the salves like this. So you're welcome to try this out as well. Yeah, we'll pass it around. You guys can smell it and do all that good stuff. All right, so we've got some new products, and this is one of the things that as we're rolling away the products that aren't selling, we're putting in their place ones that are new and improved. All of our CBD products right now, the first wave of products were whole molecule CBD. All of the new products coming out are all nanoparticle CBD. Some of them are a combination of the 2. And the reason for that is nanoparticles don't show up on lab tests. Okay, and I know everybody's wondering about the lab test. I want to get into that really quickly though, because lab testing is very frustrating. I've spent a lot of money on lab testing over the years, and the technology is not perfect. And there's a lot of subjective points to it. There's a lot of places where it can be flawed. And I have taken pure molecules and had it tested. I've put in those pure molecules into a 1 dilution, 2 dilution, 4 dilution, 8 dilution, just pure science, sent it in blindly to the lab and had it come back all cockamamie many times. I've taken a lab test that showed up lower than I thought it should be. I added more to it, submitted it, and it came back even lower. So it's not an exact science. So for everybody who's like, where's the lab test? Where's the lab test? It's not that important. I will have them. I have them. I spent, like I said, I spent $8,000 this year on lab tests. Okay. But I have 100 products and each one needs to be tested. And so I'm starting to do bigger batches and I'm still doing regular testing, but that's just the way it is. For people who are interested, do we do pesticide tests? Do we do mold tests and all that? Some of these products have 15 ingredients in them. Okay. These are all natural oils, butters, herbal concentrates. They're all, I use the highest quality ingredients I can find. And for my herbal concentrates, I use standardized lab tested concentrates that have third-party lab results. If I was to lab test every one of my products for this, it's about a $300 test for each one each time. I would have to double my price of my products if you want that. So if you want that, let me know, and I will provide them at double the price that I currently do, and I'll do it just for you. But that's what it would take. So it's a difficult balance. I really believe that the quality of the products stand on their own when people use them and they use somebody else's products. It's obvious that you're getting what you're paying for here. Yes.
Question on the testing.
Mhm.
Is your clientele required in some cases to test, or that's just a marketing?
Everybody wants it.
Side, so we have to do it.
Yeah, on the THC side of things, of course, there's its own set of rules. On the CBD side of things, there isn't any standards yet. And so on the wholesale website, there's a section of resources where I'm putting up the most recent batch tests. Today, I just submitted three batches of the CBD sublingual set. So Tuesday or Wednesday, I'll have another most recent batch test of them, and they'll be posted up on the website. So that's the best way I could come up to work with this. That's really, I know it's not what everybody wants to hear, but is there a possible chance that one ingredient I get one time from somebody might not be what it says? Yeah, there's a chance. But I can't, there's not any way practical for me to do that kind of a thorough test unless I was going after an FDA approved therapeutic product, and then you'd be paying those prices. And the reason why, those prices are that much is because of the rigors that they're forced to go through. So,
you know what our test is? If you tell people to call us back and see.
Yeah, try it. Does it work?
And they call back. I mean,
Exactly.
100%. They call back
That's
and say,
it.
hey, that stuff works.
Exactly. So this is the new lip quench with nano coconut fragrance. We're going to do another one with the peppermint. Those will be the two lip quenches we have available. So everybody just fell in love with these things. My wife and daughter came up with the formula. It's a little different than the other formula. It's got more coconut in it, and excuse me, everybody loves it. So that's available today on the website. The next product line was the high performance pain relief roll on. This has nano, and it has a really it has a 1% TH or CBD plus the nano CBD that doesn't quantify. So put it this way. The equipment that they use to test potency is dialed in to see a certain magnification. So if you got binoculars and you looked up at the night sky, you would see the moon much closer. You would see it, right? But in the daytime, you look at the Milky Way and you can't see it. I don't care if you have glasses. I don't care if you have a binoculars or what. You won't see it. Why? Because you're not looking in the right spectrum. It can't see it. Well, the same thing when they get the particle size below a certain point, and my nano stuff tests out. I have a test that shows the particle size. They're down to 30 nanometer. 30 nanometer particle size. This stuff goes right through cell walls, penetrates through layers of skin, and it works. So, but their equipment can't see it. So I can take stuff that I watched and put the CBD in it, and then I take it, the pure concentrate, and I take it to the lab, and I'm like, there's nothing here. That's the technology that we're dealing with. Will that technology improve? Yes. Is it there today? No. So just bear with it. We're literally on the cutting edge of this technology right now, people. This is literally the most advanced products that are out there, and we're making them right here. The sample sizes, we now have labels for them. So the buttercreams and the eye treatments, and all of that, we've got fancy little bottles. So that's the same product that we've had for a while, but it used to just have a little hand printed label on it. Now it's actually got its own label, and it's its own product. This is the water. We call it NC squared. Anybody who doesn't get the idea is it's a quantum play on words. Anyways, it's got nanoparticles in a water substrate. So we call it water soluble. It's not truly soluble, but it's in such a suspension of small particles that it acts like it. You can put it in water, you can put it in juice, coffee, tea, whatever, and everything that is in nanoparticle size. The testing that they've done on curcumin, which is a turmeric active ingredient, they showed a 9 times bioavailability. So they've done already some oversight studies, and they're actually able to document the bioavailability of nanoparticle curcumin at 9 times. So for every milligram here, it acts between 6 and 9. I calculated at 6, but they've actually shown 9. All right, this is one that's pretty new, but I'm just going to lay it out. This is the psoriasis cream. Okay, now, here's the thing. I can't make medical claims. This is a supplement. So what we've called, actually, Dana came up with the word, with the name of this, and we call it Exoria. That's eczema, psoriasis. And we just call it therapeutic cream. That's it. I'm not making any claims. You guys can teach your clients what it's about. But I can't put that on the label. I can't say it does anything, even if it does. But this stuff is phenomenal for eczema and psoriasis. And we have already, in only a few months of being out, testimonial after testimonial with pictures. There's also a capsule counterpoint to this. So eczema and psoriasis is not a skin allergy. It's an immunodeficiency problem. It's happening inside your body, stimulated by stress or some outside thing. The next generation of products I have are a combination of topicals and a capsule. So they're working, some of them are the same ingredients, one absorbing to the area, one going inside and getting systemic. So there's a capsule that goes with this.
So when's that coming out?
It's out.
It's out.
We
So
have
it's
it.
okay to be doing both at the same time.
Absolutely.
That's
It's
what-
designed for that. It's designed for that. All right. So the next thing is, and I've already showed you guys these, but we have a stick version of the salves. That's a slightly different formula. It has a little coconut oil as the other one didn't. It's a little bit stiffer, so it stays good in the tube. But the idea of this, number one, is you can reach that spot now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I can reach that spot. And the other thing is you're not having to dip your finger in the thing. Remember this, it's a salve. If you put it in your pocket on a warm day, it's gonna melt. Okay, but that's just the way it is. It's a salve. Okay,
I noticed
So-
it's not real
Yeah,
greasy.
that one's.
it's a little bit stiffer.
Absorbs better.
It's a little stiffer,
It's
that's why,
nice.
yeah. So anyways, these will likely replace the other salves over time. For now, I'm carrying them both. As long as they're both moved, we'll keep them both. But if the sales taper off on the one, I'll move that to special order. Probably these in the next year will be the prevailing salve. As you guys know or not know, we have the drops available now up to 1,000 milligrams. And this is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I don't know what got it to happen, but we finally did it. Our elixirs, the honey elixirs. So the capsules, we have, I don't know, how many flower power capsules do we have now? Like 30? A lot. And we have all these different formulas. But when you take a capsule, it takes, 20 to an hour and a half before it starts working. the capsules last for a while. They last 3 to 4 hours, sometimes even more, because of the coconut oil carrier, and it takes your body a little while to absorb it all. However, if you need something to work fast, we now have an elixir. This is a honey-based elixir, and it has nano CBD in it, and it's fast acting. So we have a migraine relief formula, which is a brand new thing, but we've had nothing but very positive results. As with any medication or any therapeutic substance, is it going to do everything for everybody? No. But I'd say we're at about a 95%, 2 thumbs up, 4 to 5 stars so far out of maybe 20 people beta testing it. So this is also available. We also have an energy formula. I've personally tested this one. Remember, our energy formula is not a 5-hour energy drink. It's not jacked up with 30,000 milligrams of caffeine. It has a combination of adaptogens and some caffeine, and it operates on a level that gives you a little spike of energy and helps you to keep it, and it helps to rebuild your recovery. So it helps keep you from getting tired rather than get you all jacked up. But if you drink enough of it, you'll get jacked up anyways. So
is that the same as Brain Booster?
no, this is the same as the Fireball.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the
That's
same.
the energy one we're working on, right?
Yeah, this is the same formula, although it has a little more green tea extract in it. And it's a slightly different formula. So it has a
This is the
tea.
last time we were here. We got
You
some
just want
samples.
labeled.
Yeah, this is that. Now it has a label. Huh? Yeah, this is the energy.
So
This is my
you
drink.
get feedback from my
It works pretty
Oh,
good.
yeah.
It works pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't. She gave me 2 migraines, so I've got the energy one here. We'll pull out a bottle of each. You guys can try them if you want. The migraine one is labeled "warning spicy." It has pepper extract as one of the, black pepper extract. It's got a little bite to it. It's got peppermint. It's got. I mean, it's a. Huh?
Feverfew.
And it's got feverfew, which is really bitter. Okay, so but it works, and that's you know what?
That's all that
If you've
matters.
never had a migraine,
That's all that matters.
and you got a choice of I'm dying or that's a little harsh, you're gonna go with a little harsh every time.
I've been using the migraine people's headaches and work like that.
Some people it does.
Yeah.
Some people CBD does fine all by itself,
Yeah.
but this is for those people that CBD doesn't get it done.
Since I had this, I've had 1 migraine, and I use this.
This new elixir?
Yeah, and it really helped me a lot.
So I will have
My
a.
go-to is usually caffeine, and I don't do caffeine. And but I took this, and it
Keeps you on a mellow.
I'll have a bottle of the energy and the migraine elixir for everybody to do. All right, I got to keep moving. My wife's giving me the nudge here. She's getting that you're going too long. All right, so
No, I mean, it's good.
well, there's a lot of information here. So.
You're doing good, John.
Anyways, I'm gonna have these sitting out. I'm gonna have a bottle of each of the elixirs sitting out for you guys to try out. And there's also a new blood pressure capsule. Okay. And so if somebody hasn't tried it, I'll give out samples of the blood pressure capsule. It's a really good formula. I don't have high blood pressure, so I can't test it on myself, but I'm confident it's going to be really good. So, and I haven't gotten a lot of feedback yet, but that's usually good. You know.
There's a guy sitting in front of me who's using it right
Oh,
now.
good. Excellent. So it's helping?
Yeah.
Excellent.
He's
All
almost
right.
off all the
So,
blood pressure.
There's that. All right, now we're going to get to some of the best stuff here. Everybody who RSVP'd, you know who you are. You're first in line to get a bag. I went out of my way to get everybody to RSVP so that I could have enough food and enough bags. So if we run out of bags and you're here, I'll still hook you up. I don't know. I didn't track that. But anyways, there's probably enough bags for everybody. But just remember, if you did RSVP, grab a bag first, and then we'll hook you up. Plus, I'm going to be going around. I'm going to get a nice bag of some of these new products, and I'm going to hook you all up. I got the Santa hat on.
Yeah.
I'm going to be giving away some. I'm going to be giving away some.
I was wondering where your bag was. You had the hat, but you didn't put the bag in.
It's being loaded. It's being loaded. Okay, now let's move on here. We are about to launch a training program. Okay, we now have over 100 reps in Willow Creek Springs. So what does that mean? I got 100 people representing my company. And do I know what they're saying? No. Do I get people call me every once in a while and say, hey, that person said this? I'm like, I don't know who that person is. Okay, so what we have, and Lisa and I have been working on
This other Lisa.
this Lisa right here. She's been working on an online course. Okay, so what that means is on the website, on the retail website, we don't sell our products anymore, but information about the products is there. We have it for you guys now. It's not for us anymore. It's for you guys to demonstrate the products, to teach people about them. And it says right there on the website, find a rep. If you wish to be listed on that website, as soon as we have this training launched, it's going to be a change. It's going to find a certified rep. The only people that will be listed on that website will be the people that have gone through the certification training course. And it will be required to go through once a year. We're going to update it every year. And all it does is you'll get a certificate. You'll be able to say, I'm a certified representative of this company. I know these products. You can ask me anything about them, and I'm a qualified representative. And you'll be represented on the website. Unfortunately, for white label people, that doesn't qualify unless you're selling our brand too, because that's the difference. So I'm struggling with how to help out the white label people, but that's not really what that's about. So I'm kind of what I'm doing is for the website, we have an affiliate page. So if you're a brick and mortar store and you sell our products, that's on there, and then certified reps will be on there. And I'm open to ideas. If you white label people have an idea for me as to how to encourage, how to integrate your products into this, we'll figure out a way to do it. All right, rack cards. We've got a bunch of new updated rack cards. We have them in bundles of 100. We basically print those for you guys. You can buy them at our cost. I give out a few of them, but those are for your marketing, and I buy them by the thousand, so you pay the same price. I don't use them anymore. But we just updated them all, and there's some new ones coming still. So as new products come, we have to keep updating these things, and it's a big project, but I'm committed to having marketing materials for everybody available. We also have banners. The first round of banners that we printed have our phone number on it. So they're being reworked that don't. But if you have a banner that has, you can block it out, put your own on it. That's okay. But we're getting another round of banners. They're also available on the website at our cost. We're not in the business of selling banners, but we're just making it available to you. We have good relationships with the printing people and all that. Okay, we're getting to the end of this. So the next thing is shipping. We do a really good job of shipping.
Yeah.
So
Fast.
when you call me up after 2 or 3 days and say, where's my package? I want to give you an insight into what it's like to be me. I have over 100 ingredients that we make our products with. And you know how long it takes me to get some of these? 2 to 3 weeks. And I order it, I pay for it up front, and then I wait.
Yeah.
And if I don't hear anything in a week or so, I might call them up and they'll say, oh, yeah, it'll be shipping out in a couple of days. Or it's shipping, and it's shipping from Massachusetts, or it's shipping from wherever. And they put it on a truck and they drive it here, and it takes a week and a half to get here. I got a barrel of MCT oil on its way. I ordered it 2 weeks ago. It's not going to be here till next week. 3 full weeks. That's business, people. Okay, so we go out of our way to get these things to you guys as quickly as we can. We're on it. We now have a company that we work with that prints the labels up, sends you an automatic tracking. Okay, if you're buying CBD products, I can't do any more than that. We're committed to doing this. We go to the post office every single day, and we're on it. So just please be understanding of us, as we don't control all of those things. All right, so next up we got Yanni. Yanni has been working with us for a while now, and Yanni discovered something that we all need to know about. She found a bank that will do merchant services for CBD products, knowing that they're CBD products. So she's going to tell us about that. And she also has a display that she's been using, and she's really proud of it. She's going to show you how she does it. So here you go, Yanni.
Yeah, Yanni has, I wanted her to show her display of her product because when summer comes, because you gotta know this is food for your skin, just like food when you go to grocery.
Pass it around and read it, and then I'll tell you guys
about
about
our products. You know, you treat it like it is. It has an expiration
Like
date. You
organic
don't want
foods.
any chemicals and all that crap. But anyhow, she has the way she laid out all her products, so she'll show you how.
Let's start with what everybody's interested in, credit card, the bank. I found through US Bank, and actually proof is here, because I've been talking to her. She called me and she said, we now do merchant accounts for CBD products. So all you have to do, I have a couple forms that I printed so that you guys could take with you, and I could give you the information of the agent as well that I'm working with. Basically, all you need is, it's really simple. There's not a whole bunch of questions. You send it in, she'll call you back. She fills out the application. You do everything online. I did it, and I even got a little card reader. So I did it because I hate giving my phone to somebody to sign and a call comes through.
Yeah.
So the unit is about $20. Right there. With that one.
Do you know what they're charging?
That's a great thing. The company itself only charges you for, the fees are really low. They're like about 1.5% versus you pay 2.25, I think, with PayPal, and about 3 with Square. The unit is $600.
PayPal and Square will shut you down if they figure out that you're selling CBD, as they have to us, many of us. Oh, yeah.
So you could lease it. I decided to lease it for that's $600, but you could lease it for $20 a month, and then you could upgrade, so you don't get stuck with a unit.
All right.
So I wanted to make sure that I had the account open before I told Joe, look, Joe, I found this thing. Because I didn't want to bring something in and say, oh, we're not going to do it.
Right.
And then I got confirmation from the agent by sending me the form. The form actually does say hemp and CBD products. It's a disclosure because they want to make sure that there's no THC on it.
So they only do CBD, they won't
How
do
do they know?
dispensaries.
No.
They look at your website, they look you up. Yeah, they look at your social media, they look you up.
Yeah, pretty much. So all that you guys have to do, anybody who's interested, I'm going to go ahead and email everyone. I have the copy and also the contact of the person who's doing it. Anybody who's a US Bank, but the lady that
Is that US Bank?
US Bank, yes.
Oh,
So that's put us in a cannabis
So-
market, though?
So open up a business account with them?
For taxes, they don't care, you just pay your taxes.
So you're
Yeah,
gonna open up a business
They'll
account?
take your money.
Yes,
No.
So you open up a business account with them,
Yes.
they'll let you open
Yes.
it, okay.
So, and she'll walk you through everything. So we already have Willow Creek, it's already in as of yesterday. So now we're just waiting for the application to come through. So like I said, I have my account, that's why I'm passing so that you guys can see. I wanted to make sure that we had it before, I could say, look, it's password. So,
They're leasing the little gadget,
yes,
and how much is that?
$20 a month.
And you already have an account?
I'm sorry?
You already have an account?
I do have an account. That's why I'm passing I want it, like I said, I don't want to bring anything to Joe unless I know that it's done.
Sure.
So when I got the unit, I'm like, okay, they shipped it to me. I have my account and I've
So the
already.
bank gave you that?
Yes, you order it through them.
Get your bag, Yanni.
Woo! Get my bag.
Yanni, question,
Yes, sir.
is that a thing where you put the card in?
Yes.
or-
The reason why I do that is because how many times did any of your customers ever cancel an account? I mean, a transaction. Once you have the slip in there and their signature, they can. So I wanted to be safe for myself. I mean, I'm not huge yet, but I'm gonna get there.
That's
Can
right.
can you use that touch screen? Where you put your card or your phone next to it?
You can do that too. Yeah, it has the little, whatever you call it.
Tap.
The tap. Let me show you my bag.
I'm sure when you call them, they're gonna tell you everything too.
Yeah,
What's that?
that little machine will go right to your account.
So they don't want it.
Doesn't matter, credit or debit.
Oh, nothing, nothing.
Shoot it.
Oh, that's awesome.
I want to show you how I normally, when I go to an event, I take my bag, my food bag. And in my food bag, I have,
Cool. Hello to everybody from New York.
I have my bag that I walk in to a client's place, whether I go to a home care facility, hospitals, or homes.
Can we take pictures of you?
Of course.
Oh, thank you.
He's got it down.
Let me get, I'm gonna get the little table.
Absolutely.
So that I can lay it.
A little cable.
Yeah, it's right here.
Cheers.
Are you getting one, Yanni?
She got it. I know what she's doing.
So I can go to my bank.
So this is what I'm doing.
I think we want it.
Can I get?
Here, sweetie.
Give me one for free.
I
So
don't know the
believe it or
details of your
not,
bank yet.
this is
Well, I go out and do this bank.
They're all.
a bag that you use to go out, I mean, to go traveling. It's actually a travel bag. But
wow.
I loved it because I have where to put my, then I have to put all my tinctures. Same time, I have a little bag, so I can put my salves or anything else.
Just to put that in your phone.
Then it has
Right, so.
I think it plugs into the internet.
that other little bag, and then I have
Oh, nice.
where I have all my,
That's nice. I like that.
and I do the same with the shots.
Who makes that? Oh, nice.
Ronaldo.
I still think you all ought to get a big long trench coat with a lot of pockets in it. You could be that guy.
So,
No, we need that.
believe it or not, this is like $1.99 at Walmart.
Look, son.
Yeah, no, I do
Yeah, it's a
have
pencil
those.
box.
I have
And
those.
they fit
My grandson
perfect.
has.
Well,
Yes.
It's perfect enough when you're.
So I mean, you don't think about it, but I'm a little OCD. So I
We get it going.
No,
So if
we
y'all
all have to
have,
get like this.
Yeah,
This is
no,
like-
no, yeah.
so if you can find them, I mean, it doesn't have to be a Ronaldo, it could be anything as long as you have.
But the most thing I want is keeping it cool in the summertime.
Yeah.
Like right now.
Yeah,
it's
now
nice.
is a great time for
How do
this,
you
but
keep
summertime
that
comes
cool?
and
When
I
you
have a little, I carry a icebox base. And I
do
just
too.
stuff it in an
That's
icebox with
what
just
I
the
wanted.
cooling hot. I mean, it's a little bag.
Miss Lisa and I have one of those cooling bags that we carry.
When I do events though,
Yeah,
it's a little different.
yeah.
And I'll show you with what I started and how I moved it. I started with these. It's an insulated bag, so I can keep my stuff cool.
Well, that's nice too.
I'll pass it around if you want to check it.
Oh, yes.
wow, that is cool.
Okay, now where'd you get that one?
Behind you, Yanni. Yeah, but now.
Like, oh, wow.
Is that the one you were talking about last night?
So this is what I started with.
But it's
Okay.
nice, I like it.
It gets
I
better.
like
What
it,
is it?
but I
It
still
gets-
like
What
it.
was it for, like originally?
And if you want to look at it.
It's
later,
for-
Is it like a cosmetic bag?
It's like,
Yeah.
no, believe it, that's for a bottle. If you go on Amazon and put in,
Oh, really?
yeah, 30 ml bottles, that will come out. So like I said,
Is that
that,
right?
that was my
This
first one.
one's even better.
Then-
This one.
This is my latest one.
Yeah,
That's even
nice.
But this is an oil carrier.
Look at
Yes.
You're on it, girl. I'm telling you. I
that. You
love
should
it.
order some.
Nice.
Okay, so
I like
we
that.
get
You buy
Amazon.
some.
Amazon.
Hey, are we getting this from Amazon too?
Yes,
coming in
ma'am.
our, is that coming in our gift bags?
Santa Claus, you hear that, Santa Claus?
Yes.
Hey, hold on. Remember, if you guys are ordering stuff from Amazon, there's smile.amazon.com. It's Amazon Smile. If you order your stuff through that, the Human
Now, next time we'll
Solution
get
is
one
one
that
of
has a
the
girl on there.
registered nonprofits, and for the exact same price, they donate a little bit to our nonprofit. Just for you using it. It doesn't cost you anymore, but it just, you go to smile.amazon and it's the same exact, everything else is the same. They just put a couple of
wreck in the
rings.
car.
So that's how I do
Your car's messed up and your bottles have been pulled.
No, she's done with this, right?
I got
So
one-
if you want, you can look at that. I want a couple of people to.
I got one more.
testimony.
Bo's gonna tell us about the new chocolates.
Well,
New chocolate product here.
Right.
Gotta make sure that it's
Hi,
30.
guys.
That's why.
All right.
That's why I want to make sure.
That's 5 and 50.
We got room.
This thing in line.
I want to introduce myself to those of you who I haven't met yet.
Thank you.
Hey, girl, I'm sorry.
And my company, oh, sorry about that, that Joe and Liz already captured. And one of the new products today that you're going to be able to sample here today is a pistachio and cranberry fudge with nano CBD. Okay, and would love your feedback on it. And any of you who are interested, Joe will have, we have product here that is for sale through Joe and Ruth.
Good stuff.
Are you marketing that, Joe? Are you marketing?
I'm demonstrating.
Demonstrating the eating.
This is a
Yes.
clinical demonstration.
Yeah, Joe likes it. It's
Yeah,
good.
delicious. Very good. And also remember, all the chocolate dragon stuff is all fancy vegan.
So Joe, if they want the chocolate, you can go, we don't really sell chocolate.
Well, we have them available.
But we have them, but really take the.
Right.
We.
We,
I like what you've done with the caramel, as I can't use a lot of sugar.
right.
And those caramels.
Thank
There's
you.
no milk.
No, there's no, we are to really Reader's Digest, because I don't want to take up too much time. We are a completely dairy-free, we're a gluten-free facility, and we are also a peanut-free facility. If and when, there are two lines that I have. One is La Beau Chocolat, which is a non-CBD line, and the other is a Chocolate Dragon. If we work with any nuts, and the only nuts that we have that I allow into the factory, we're completely peanut free. We're very allergen conscious. Are cashews, almonds, and pistachios. When the product is made, for any of you who are concerned with some of your clients about nut allergies, everything is bleached down, and then we start the rest of the
I have
production.
diverticulitis.
So you're definitely, yep, so you're safe to eat our product because of
What
that.
do you mean?
Yeah, because you are, well, coconut, you can't you can't do nuts, but I'm saying because we bleach everything down, it's safe for you to eat. We do not make nut product and regular product at the same time.
Correct, I appreciate that.
Okay, so that you know it's safe for you.
So I can eat a cashew, I'm allergic to cashews, so I'm not cashews, I'm allergic to cashews. So I can eat a cashew and I won't get sick. I mean, if I'm allergic.
No, you're not. You're
Okay, so
allergic to
bleaching it down
cashews.
there, I thought you were saying bleaching it down because it's
No, not the cashews, you would be able to eat them.
Okay.
That would be slow murder.
Yeah. Enjoyable chocolate.
What
technology you can get these days?
I would like to mention to all of you, those of you who are white labels, we will white label and we will private label. And if you are interested in that, and we will create a product that is different from what we have in our line, so that there is a differentiation, and that if you have a customer that happens to say, oh, you sold me that, butternut squash caramel, and I love that from that company. Remember the one with the dragon?
Yeah.
And we can create something similar yet different so that it differentiates you from our product.
All right, so the natives are getting restless, and so let's get a couple of testimonials, and then we're gonna let everybody go. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'll be the first to tell you. I unfortunately
No, she's got a testimonial.
I unfortunately have an autoimmune problem, and I made a deal with my autoimmune specialist about 4 months ago that I would not take the drug that I did take for 3 months. I kept losing weight on it, and all the side effects were hitting me big time, and that I was only going to take CBD. I did, and he had me, I started very low and slow and ended up with his suggestion at 150 milligrams 3 times a day. My blood level was just tested. It went from 30s to 4.3.
Congratulations. Yay!
All right, and that's just CBD, nothing else.
This is phenomenal too.
Okay.
Yeah, you.
No, she's plugging your knee.
Real quick, who's driving Santa Fe?
Who's driving what?
Santa Fe?
Let's go.
Oh, me. Do I need to move?
Yeah.
I can ride that.
Ride the cage.
Now call the heart.
He can move it for you if you want though.
Oh.
Right.
Santa Fe. Seriously?
My seat.
He's really gonna have some justice.
He might have to put it back a little.
So I have a friend, a family friend who's like my son, and he had pericarditis, which is inflammation of the lining around the heart. And he had the steroids, took the steroids to the doctors, they injured it. So now he has chronic long-term, he's 28 years old. Started the CBD just recently, talked to his doctor, and he actually has been pain-free for about 10 days now, the first time in a couple of years. So there's not a lot of studies. I'm a big studies girl with my daughter. He's doing the sublingual. And so the CBD sublingual only. Yes, the he started with the 350, and we are moving him to the 500. So because he still takes quite a bit of other medications. So, but it's the first time he's actually been pain free, and so that's huge because he's been in a lot of pain for like a year.
And then one more, your daughter.
So my daughter, we talked about her before. She has autoimmune bone and spine disease. So she has fusion in her back and her neck of her bones. And she also has immunodeficient where she has low white blood cells. So she gets blood infusions every month. Some of you might have seen her in the very first one. Anyway, she has been doing we started with the joint juice capsules. They wanted to give her Remicade, Humira, and another infusion, very high steroid, very high pain meds. And we were like, no, there's no studies at all. She's 20 years old, and I was not going to do it. Met Joe and Liz at a show, and he said, I'm doing these flower capsules for joint and arthritis. I'm like, cool. So that's how we connected. And she was doing the joint juice for about 3 months, maybe up to 4 months until the RA came out. But she has been pain-free. She started with 4 to 6 and then went down. She's about 1 a day now. Sometimes she forgets because she doesn't necessarily need it. And clinically, she has 10 years of studies on her blood clinically that when you have no white blood cells, you're like 200 or 300. When you get blood infusions, you're about 800 or 900. So for 9 years, she's been at 800 or 900. The last 2 blood counts is 15 and 1700. 1700. So we're doing a third one next week, actually, before her blood infusion, because the doctors are like, well, maybe you did it wrong or whatever. I'm like, okay. So we'll see what that is. And then she's a patient at UCI, so they're all standing by. So hopefully we can share that.
What about the last blood infusion? What happened?
That's yes. And so the blood infusion, funnily enough, if you are over 1,600, you're average and you shouldn't be taking blood infusion. So this is where obviously the craziness of the doctors is happening. But she was super sick on her last blood infusion. So not only has she responded to blood infusion really well for 9 years, it's the first time she's ever had a reaction, and she was very sick, which is a sign that she wasn't able to intake the infusion, which she doesn't need it.
She doesn't need it.
Another remarkable one, which is Willow Creek CBD saved her life. Well, start when you had that, you had a stroke.
Yeah, well, so, I had a long day a couple months ago on October 6th, and, I kind of felt funny a little bit early in the day. Just thought it was nothing, but so we went home and I went to bed, and I went straight to bed. And then I woke up and I told him, I said, I have to go to the bathroom. I can't get up. Can you help me to the bathroom? So he helped me to the. So yeah, I got somebody to make my arm was numb and asleep and stuff. I went to the bathroom, took an aspirin, took some CBD, and I went back to sleep. And I got up, and it was still the same. So we went to the hospital, and again, I was taking the CBD.
But this is before.
This is my first stroke.
First stroke. You were taking CBD.
Yeah, I was taking
She'd been
it
taking it for a
for a
month.
month before.
Okay.
For a
I had
month
been taking
already.
it for the month. So I could have blamed my stroke on the CBD. Actually, I could have just said, oh, it was the CBD that did it. But
Could've been
actually, it saved my life. It took all the inflammation off my brain. They couldn't even tell I had a stroke. Besides the limbs being a little off, my step was
This is all,
overstepping.
how many weeks did you have this?
It was October 6th.
I mean, they had a speech
And-
therapist in there with her doing
And I
all
was
this stuff.
fine and all that, but so the whole weekend they should have sent me to the other hospital, but they didn't because they're like, no, she didn't have a stroke. She didn't have a stroke. No, there's no way she had a stroke. So my CAT scan didn't show a stroke until they did the MRI. The MRI said, oh, she had a stroke. It was a full blown stroke.
6
And my
meters.
speech is fine, but there was one night when he didn't come in with the CBD oil for like 14 hours. And I just started declining so bad. My speech was going. I was confused. I was telling him something's wrong. I think I'm still seizing. Everything was just real tight. So he gives me the
So open
CBD
your mouth.
oil in the hospital. He gives me the CBD oil. Gives it to me again 3 hours later. Then by that evening, I was up in the shower myself,
And
taking a
walking,
shower
and
and
walking down the
home.
halls of the hospital.
Yeah, so
That
the chaplain bought a bottle of CBD oil.
Oh.
Did not believe how well I was doing. The chaplain bought a
How
bottle.
many, well, what CBD?
The
1,000
1,000 milligrams. I took the 1,000 milligrams. The drops.
Like about this much.
Now
every
I got
few
it.
hours.
Now, what was that part where the therapist wanted to do?
No, so
therapy
they
on
wanted
you, and
me.
They said
They
no.
denied her.
They wanted me to do inpatient therapy, physical therapy, but the San Joaquin Rehabilitation said no.
She couldn't take her
That
CBD
I
there.
couldn't take
So
my
we told her
CBD
we're not
there, so
gonna do
I'm like, kick rocks, because I know it's saving my life.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not.
Yay.
I don't take any blood pressure, no cholesterol, no Zoloft.
Straight CBD.
Now I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest, I did hit them up for some Xanax. But I
love
had to
those.
pull teeth to get that. They wanted to put me on all this long-term stuff. They wanted some, I know
Antidepressants.
what I need. I need something I can take short-term when I need, if I need it, and I had to pull teeth to get them. I don't take them now, but for me then I was like, well, I'm gonna need something. I'm so tight. I was like, so, and I knew what I needed. But I had to pull teeth basically to get something short term.
Where she was
But-
getting the anxiety from was she don't know how the stroke happened because she's
Yeah,
asleep.
yeah. Well,
So when this starts getting all
Yeah.
on your
Yeah,
heart
it's
side,
like-
and you're like, oh, am I getting a
Start
stroke? Am I
panicking.
having-" So she starts panicking.
So then
But that's
I've
not
been
depression.
fine. I've been
Oh.
taking
Yeah.
the CBD oil. I was out here recently for a few days and then I started declining again. And here I'm looking in my bottles. Looking for my empty bottles and I have a whole stack of
bottles.
I
mean,
found some though.
but he found some and it brought me back and brought me back. And then last
We got
night,
another little incident
last night,
yesterday.
so I'm gonna tell you, I learned how to take THC drops, the THC, so to help relax me. But I was just taking that. I forgot to take the oil
All day.
all day. And last night I had 60 days to the day was last night since my stroke, and I was
To the day.
looking over, and then all of a sudden something lights out, it was like somebody hit a big breaker.
I hear her yelling and I'm
And I
like,
went,
what the hell?
I screamed through it. I didn't pass out. I would have if I was standing up, but I was sitting down. And I don't know, I looked down and something and I went, and it was just lights out. Everything went out on me for 3
You
seconds.
start getting dizzy.
And I started getting a little dizzy, and I was trying to figure out what happened to me.
Yeah.
And I was I don't know what happened.
So I'm shitting saying we're going to the hospital
I
right
didn't
now.
take the CBD.
And then I said, wait a minute, where's my CBD?
Yes.
I grabbed that shit. I said,
So I'm like,
check this out. No, before I gave her the CBD, I told her, raise your hand, raise your arm.
so when I raised,
She started going like this, and that's the sign of a stroke.
My arm is
Because I'm learning this shit, because I want to know, you know what I mean? So she starts going like this, and I'm like, open your mouth. Gave that shit to her.
Leveled my arm, and
I told her, lift your arm. She says,
Wow.
It's like I felt like I was gonna it was going into a seizure or
the
gonna
energy
have
was
a
just
something.
so strong. That CBD just kicked that shit right out. It was amazing.
And I was gonna go to
No
the
hospital.
hospital.
Dude, hey, my blood pressure, I tested my blood pressure was
I told
193
her, I
over
think
106.
I actually told my
Scared the shit out of me.
I thought I was gonna die last night.
Because she told me, I'm gonna die.
I think I'm
And I'm
gonna
like,
die because
it scared the shit out of me.
something was not right, and
But I went to the only thing I know, CBD.
and it brought me.
That was last night.
Last
That was
night.
last night. 1,000 milligrams CBD. Or,
I just had a stroke and then she comes all the way about.
oh, I do. It's in my pocket all the
I don't
time.
have time to be sick. I've got to do this.
I do. My kids all know that I have a bottle
Our
of CBD in my pocket.
grandkids are, maybe I need CBD.
So did they say you had a stroke?
I had
No, she had a stroke. It was 6 millimeter or 6 centimeter, and it happened on her right side, which affects the left
All right,
side.
you guys.
So everybody, it was great. If
Yes.
anybody
This
wants
is the hard part of this whole thing was just kind of maintaining everybody. Now we get to enjoy the rest of the day. And I want to thank Dana for bringing the smoke turkey.
everybody,
I want to thank everybody for coming out here.
I want to thank you for CBD.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And just enjoy yourselves. Oh, we'll all be here yapping and whatnot. You can go out here on the patio.
we have so many testimonies. Even my brother Dave, he had cancer. THC's helped his life. We have Candace here. Her husband
So
just
you got
passed
your bottle in
away,
your pocket.
but she used
Right.
She had longevity.
But that's the thing is he must have, I bet you he lived probably years longer than I could have. Right. Yeah, yeah.
Let me stop.
Any way you look at it, yeah. Right. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, what did you call tomorrow?
Yeah, we're gonna do surgery or something.
Yeah, maybe I'll call you before.
Okay, yeah. What's that? Oh, yeah.
Bye all. Thank you.
There you go. See you guys. Oh, no. It's not touchscreen.